Let's find our destiny.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the New Era Paranormal Podcast with JD Curry and Irina Killowies. Tonight we are joined by Joshua Haney, an investigator who began in Savannah, Georgia, and now leads haunted expeditions nationwide with mysterious adventures tours, exploring the stories behind America's darkest legends. So, Josh, how did you get involved in the paranormal field?
Honestly, I've kind of been involved in it my entire life. When I was younger, I didn't really think anything of it. Honestly, when I was a child, I thought I could move things, like with my mind. And it turns out it was a spiritual experience, but that's another story. But as I grew older, I started to notice a lot more about myself, and I moved to Savannah about 6 years ago, and I joined a paranormal group, and we did tours within Savannah and paranormal tours at that. So I started to learn more about my abilities and everything along those lines. And I've always been a huge history buff. I've, for as long as I can remember, the only thing I ever wanted to be was a history teacher. So that is kind of how that all intertwined. And from that, I just kind of fell in love with dark history because it's what my brain really grasps onto. I can tell you things about buildings and dates and stuff like that, but it's more about the people and the experiences of the locations, more than anything. So I've been a tour guide in Savannah for about 6 years, and I graduated into bringing up my own company. And during that, I went to West Virginia. That's where I met Irene. We went to Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park, and while we were there, I got a phone call asking if I wanted to run expeditions around the U.S. And I said, okay, what are you pitching to me? And they said, okay, we're going to give you a list of these locations, and a lot of them, honestly, were bucket list locations. So I didn't even care if they paid me at that point. I was just like, sign me up. I'm down for it. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into the realm of what I'm doing now.
So, when you say you had these abilities, I want to come back and talk about the tours. But when you say you had these abilities from when you were younger, do you and it drew you toward the paranormal, the darker, and you had this love for history. Did you have any particular experience that maybe pushed you a little bit?
Um, so I do have um the experience of me realizing my spirit guides and actually knowing them by name and things like that. I've done other podcasts where I have a spirit guide. His name is Anthony. Literally everywhere I go, he's there. Um, I've recently figured out the female's name as Atlantis, and it
Hmm.
seems to me like they kind of intertwine and change up during different periods of my life. Um, it's just something that has kind of brought me closer, realizing that I have, certain things and people whispering in my ear and saying, hey, you should tell this person this, or hey, you should tell this person that. Like, I understood it's not just me doing all of this. So that brought me a lot closer within the paranormal field.
So did they, when you had them pushing you to say something, was it like, like what, and was it like something darker, or was it like something because you were drawn toward the kind of the darker stuff? Did anything like lead you in that direction to being something more difficult, more, I don't want to say dark in the like scare, like really scary sense. I mean, darker in the more, emotional, deeper, paranormal sense, like when we investigate, or do you really mean like scary dark?
Well, honestly, I think it's the fact that tragedy relates to hauntings for the most part. I don't believe that there are any real, true happy hauntings that need to be explained. Like, if you have a happy haunting, it's more than likely just a family member visiting you or something like that. The hauntings that I investigate for the most part have been due to tragedy, and there's reasons for reflection on those places, which brings me heavy intrigue towards them because I understand this, and I also want other people to understand it as well. So that's kind of how it ties in the history too.
So that led you to Savannah, and so in your opinion, Savannah is considered one of the most haunted cities in America, right? Maybe even some believe maybe even the world with their experiences, but at least the most haunted city in the United States. So for you, do you I totally lost my train of thought. That's so interesting. Oh, so for you, what makes you think that Savannah, is it the same thought, the same opinion that Savannah, why it's has the reputation it has?
Well, I will say that Savannah is unlike any place by far. Um, and just as history, with the very first time you step foot on Savannah's ground in 1733, it is originally a Yamacraw Native American burial site, which they build on top of. After that, you have burnings in the city in 1820, decimating nearly 700 homes. You had another one in I believe it was 1889. There was another one that decimated as well. Both of those caused heavy flooding, breeding of mosquitoes, yellow fever. Then you had the wars in 1779, and just massive, massive, massive burial sites that have not been marked and basically just paved over. And not to mention the history of the buildings. You have, sites of murders. You have sites of just sheer crazy experiences. So Savannah as a whole is most definitely the second most haunted place I've ever been to.
Ah, okay.
First
What's your
and
most on it?
You know my most haunted, right? Lake Shawnee Abandoned Amusement Park. I don't think anything stacks up to that place. I really don't.
so layers of dark history all in one city.
Yep, unmarked graves for the most part is what caused the hauntings within Savannah, which it is with most places who have unmarked burials. There's a particular one that I speak of quite a bit, which I won't go into, but it has a bit of a darker history. I made a post about it a few days ago. If you guys want to check that out, um, but it's called Taylor Square in Savannah. If you want to look up the history on that, that is one that's beyond messed up, and that's probably, in my opinion, the most haunted place in Savannah.
That's interesting. You beat me to my next question. So, what you thought was the haunted place? What do you think? Is that the place where you've had your most memorable or unexplained experience, or the most experiences?
The most experiences. Um, I meditated in that square one time, and I will never do it again. It's it. There's so much overwhelming energy there. It's just it's hard to even fathom. So as much as I want to understand it, and I do reach out, and I do go there, and I do sit down and speak with them, um, involving my full self within it is a very difficult task. So that would be my number one in Savannah for sure.
How do you use meditation in your research?
Um, a lot of times I find out, with energies, I can't particularly pick up on people in a normal space unless I do in fact meditate. So within that realm, I pick up on energies that I would not pick up on otherwise. So I clear my mind, and whatever comes into it at that point is what I'm actually needing to experience. Um, a lot of times I can do it right off the rip. Majority of the time I can. Like, I'll walk into a place and point stuff out, be like, "Oh, this is your problem." I do house calls too occasionally. So like It's not that I can't do it without the meditation, but the meditation does in fact help me feel more energies.
Makes sense.
I mean, if you clear
Because you're
your
working on
mind.
yourself spiritually, and then others can interact with that potentially.
So I will say the place that actually opened me up though, it's in Savannah too. It's the historic Savannah Theater. It was constructed in 1818 by William J. Um, the building has had 12 fires to date. One of them almost all but decimating the building. The only remaining wall after that fire was the back wall of the building.
Hmm.
Numerous people got caught within the fire, and unfortunately, numerous people died within it. And a lot of those people still haunt that building today. It is the oldest still operating theater in the United States, and if anyone knows anything about theaters, they know they are notoriously haunted. But this one in particular is, I would say, top tier of theaters to visit. Um, I I will tell you that is where I first heard my spirit guide Anthony's voice is in that building.
I have a question for you though, off of that. Theaters are not necessarily negative energy. There's
Oh,
just
no.
a lot of energy. So, do you
No, I
think
don't
it's
think
just the amount of energy, or
it
what
is an
causes that
amount of
haunting?
energy. I have yet to come across anything negative in the building. I have been pushed due to residual energy, but I have never felt anything negative within the building. No.
That's interesting that you feel pushed during residual energy. Not a lot of people talk about that. Can you go a little bit more detail on your experience about it?
So the top of the building used to be the segregated seating section, and one of these particular fires, there's a stairwell that runs down this side. Well, after the show filled up, they would actually lock that door. Well, the top layer of the theater itself caught fire. So people are trying to rush down because, during segregation they're told, "Hey, we don't mix, we go out this way." Like that's just ingrained in their mind. Well, they tried to go down to the door at the bottom of the stairs, but as they locked it up, they're basically rushing and rushing and rushing back to go down the other exit. That way they can get out of the building and away from the fire. Um, and this particular fire is the one I talked about that killed so many people. Um, that rushing is the residual energy that was pushed by.
Okay, that makes that would make sense to me in terms of a residual energy. So not just somebody kind of just walking back and forth, and you see them every once in a while. That's a lot of energy coming at you at once.
Yes. I will tell you that I got thrown into a balcony by my, like, on my stomach, and I dropped into a chair from the energy itself. It took me a minute to recover. There was a lot of it at one time.
So do you think
So
you think you're more sensitive because of the like the your like sensitivities, and not just clairvoyance, because of your sensitivities, or do you feel like it's just the space itself is that strong that anybody can have that experience, or both?
honestly, with that building, I feel like it's both. I feel like that's one of those places that if you don't believe when you walk in, you'll believe walking out. It is one of those places. Now, a lot of people, like you said, with the negativity and stuff like that, will believe, oh, it's a haunting. I don't want to deal with it. Hauntings are usually negative. Majority of the people that haunt that building are stagehands, actors, actresses, people that love the building.
Yeah.
So majority of the times, those are the people who you interact with. Um, I will say though, for me in particular, um, I do think that my abilities do reach beyond what the normal person would feel, but at the same time, it I feel like everybody has a little bit of something. You may not
Mhm.
realize it, but everybody has a little bit of something. So there's that too.
I agree. I think that's a good point to make too. You know, whether you acknowledge it or not, or you understand it or not, it's still there. It's still present.
Hmm. It's just like training, practicing a muscle, growing that muscle. It's the same thing. Your brain does the same thing. It's just whether or not you choose to train it or not.
Is there any location in Savannah that you've gone to, whether through tour or investigating, that you refuse to go back to?
Uh, I don't want to say it because I'll make a lot of people mad.
All right, you don't have to name it,
Okay.
but I mean, naming it might make people want to go more because you had an
Well, it's
experience
shut
there.
down now, so they won't be able
Uh,
to.
you could just describe what happened.
No one really knows what happened other than it had Shanghaiing and caverns under the building that were used for yellow fever and black market trade of liquor. Um, but yeah, okay, it's Moon River Brewing Company. I don't know what to say, guys. Like, I like the idea of the building. Is it something that I was like, oh my god, this is incredible? No, no, not at all. The only thing that happened to me was my name got said 13 times, and people that don't do this, that's incredible. But to me, that's a walk in my day. Like, I don't know. To me, that's just, yeah, that was it. I
So
never
that's
had
kind of
any.
intro to paranormal investigation.
Yeah, pretty much. But like,
Nice start.
I don't know. I think the asbestos had something to do with it as well. Like, I always had rocks in my nose when I left. It's just, I don't know. And I hate to bash on anybody, and I hope to God that people don't see this and be like, you shouldn't have said that. But that's how I feel.
We've been to locations with, like, especially health wise, where, I walk out of there thinking, I don't know if I should have been in there for as long as I was in there. Some of the old ceilings are falling down, and there's this dust in the air, and there's fecal matter all over the place, like droppings. Like, you're kind of like, I probably should bring a mask next time.
No. Well, I'll tell you, we ran that place as a tour, and when we first got it, we like the whole crew went in and we started vacuuming it and stuff like that to try to clean it up a little bit. The upper floors were in just such disarray that there was no doing anything about it. Like,
Man.
we just kind of gave up after a certain point.
Yeah, makes sense. You have any thoughts on that, JD?
I mean, I've worked with my fair share. New York might be the Empire State and with the most cities, but there's still a lot of places where there's some old buildings that are just run down and got lost in time.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, a lot of them are saving, but there are people that try and nonprofits that try to help.
Well, I will say I have heard that they're trying to bring Moon River back into a hotel stance. Um, so whether that's going to happen, I don't know. But if they do, then I'm sure it's a location that people want to visit and book rooms at. But they definitely have millions of dollars worth of work to do before they could do that.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay. So, have you ever encountered on any of your tours one of those, I don't want to say skeptic, but really big skeptic or denier that no matter what you did or even heckled you while you were doing your tours and always had an explanation, even if it didn't make any sense?
Unfortunately. um, no, I don't think anything's unfortunate. Like I have fun with everybody. There's only been times where I'm just like, this guy is gonna be trouble for the rest of the group. That I'm like, eh. But no, like I've ran thousands of tours, thousands. Like I can't even count how many. Um, but all in all, I've had a great time, and yeah, I've had some people that were just like, "Oh, you're doing this or you're doing that." I'm like, "Okay, I mean, you don't have to believe, dude. Here's some cool history." Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't please everybody, and not everybody's gonna want to think, you know, everything like that's real. And I will say that I've had people who think that everything in this world that is spiritual is demonic too. So, I mean, there's opposite ends of the spectrum. um, Once again, you can't please everybody, but I definitely try to. Even if I don't, get a rise out of somebody and make them believe in the paranormal, I at least gave them experience, and that's what I strive to do. So, I mean, if you don't believe, you don't have to believe. But I've seen so much crap that I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. Like this is what's real. Eventually, you'll figure it out. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I have had people that were total doubters come back and see me and be like, "Okay, let's go do some stuff." All right, we'll see what happens. And then they leave me again. They're like, "Okay, guy, I think you have something there." So we'll we'll chalk that up to a win.
So if so you had your tours of in Savannah. Do you still have your tour company there? Because you do the mysterious adventures tours now, but do
Yes.
you still have your Savannah tour company?
Um. As of right now, I only take private tours. So those in the know, um, friends of friends of friends, stuff like that. I do have a tour company coming to fruition, but it is not there yet. The reason being is because we all run into, this person wants this much money, that person wants that much money. It's just like there's a lot to go through. And when I got down to the nitty gritty of it, it was basically like, okay, I'm going to need this to front this. I'm going to need to pay people, blah, 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 blah. I'm having to push it for that very reason. But if anybody ever wants to come see me and just say, hey, I want some history and real history at that, I'm always happy to oblige.
And how can they find you to come see you down there?
Social media, Instagram, Facebook. Um, I'm on TikTok. Don't message TikTok. I'm never on TikTok, but there are videos there. Um, majority of Facebook. If you hit me up on Messenger or shoot me a friend request first, because obviously it blocks it. Um, Definitely just let me know what you're looking for or what you want to know. Even if you just want a couple sentences, have a question about some history, I'll gladly just type it in for you. I don't care. Like that's my city. That's what I'm passionate about, and dark history is what I'm passionate about. And I'm really, really happy and excited to go in these new experiences too. So if you guys want to tour at any space, come and see me.
Oh,
This is my
totally.
face.
Yeah, we'll come find you totally.
I don't know if I would want to go that far south.
What?
Hot and muggy.
No.
It
If I
is
can go
this
with
time of
this
year.
hair, you can go.
I'll tell
So,
you,
Josh, if you could go anywhere in the world to investigate, what would be some of your bucket list locations?
I'm trying to get a tour at Winchester House. I really am. That is
Well, if you get in there, you call us.
one of my top tier investigation locations. So I'm picking. We'll see, but that's one of my bucket lists. Uh, Honestly, I'd like to go to Japan and do some of their stuff too.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we're skipping the next one. The next one's no, we ain't doing that one. Uh, well, I'm doing Skinwalker Ranch. That was one of them. Um, I'm also going to Salem, so I get to do the witch house. It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
pretty cool.
The last two, are they part of the Mysterious Adventure
They
tours?
are. Yes. Yes. I don't have full dates yet, but they're going to be posted on my socials as soon as I get them, and people won't be able to shut me up. So,
And tell
Mhm.
people a little bit about what Mysterious Adventure Stores does before we start asking you about some of the locations you mentioned.
Mysterious Adventures Tours does not just paranormal tours, but they do oddities tours, they do dark history tours, they do anything in the realm of, I guess, the macabre. I'm not sure if I even say that word right ever, but um, they go around the world and they go to places like Ireland. They've been to Egypt. They've done Japan. You name it. They will have that location at some point somewhere. The one that I've really been wanting to go to that they do is over in, I believe it's Austria, and they do the Krampus parade over there. And one of the hotels they stay in is an old camp, so it's it's a supremely haunted location with some interesting parades going on. Uh, that one is like I'm gonna beg to get signed up for it. I will say that I am doing a Krampus, and that will be in New Orleans, but it's Austria's way better probably.
Well, that would
um,
be a lot of dark history.
oh yeah, but yeah, it's guys, if you look them up, it's mysteriousadventurestours.com. If you're interested in any of their stuff, I recommend them highly. All of their guides and all of their ambassadors are incredible. A lot of them you've probably seen on TV and you've been wanting to meet them, then you can have them as your guides too. So if you want that at all, just go take a look. That's it. And even if you don't want it, just go take a look because we're cool. That's all I got to say about that.
And your focus is on the United States. I mean, not that you can't go
Yes.
overseas. Your focus is mainly a lot of locations here in the U.S.
Right. A lot of untouched locations. We're doing Bardstown and Waverly. We're doing uh, Skinwalker Ranch. We're doing West Virginia as well. We're going to be doing like Mothman and the TNT
Oh, yeah.
night, all that stuff. We're going to roundabout, and we're actually going to do Savannah as well, which I'm excited about because we're not doing the history of Savannah. We're doing monsters and cryptids of Savannah. So it's a totally different realm as well. So like it's going to be a very interesting time, and I'm ready to just jump into it and bring everybody with me and teach them everything that I learned, uh, and ingrain it in their brains. Like I'm punching their brains because I want them to know so bad because that's how my ADHD works. But yeah, I'm thrilled and I can't wait.
As long as you promise not to give them any tests in the end.
Oh no, no tests. Here's your pop quiz.
Right.
Rate me at the beginning, not the end.
Exactly. Okay, so you talked about going to Skinwalker Ranch. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why you find it so exciting and why people should be excited to go? Not that like JD and I know a lot about Skinwalker Ranch, but just in case there's people out there that might not know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, your usual cows turn inside out, UFO sightings, skinwalkers, paranormal activity, unexplained light phenomenon, uh,
The
just
cows.
the
Did you
cows,
say cows?
the cows in trailers somehow. It's just I don't know what to say about it. Like if you want to experience anything within that realm, it's got it. And if it doesn't have it, it will have it eventually. So it's just one of those places. Like I feel like Skinwalker Ranch is somehow a portal to other worlds or something like that. It's just strange. And
Don't
that's,
forget the layer of military site.
oh yeah. And we get good little testing and whatnot, So it's just one of those things that like I'm still continuously reading on it because I want to make sure that everybody has the best experience. But like honestly, like I have yet to see a thing about Skinwalker Ranch that was normal. So
Me neither. I really don't think there was anything normal in that location. Now they don't really let people. They never, at least before. Maybe something's changed since I've last like looked at it, to go and investigate at Skinwalker Ranch. Usually when people go to Skinwalker Ranch, they're like on the outskirts and
Right.
doing like investigations and things like that. So you're going to be at the location.
well, I'm not going to say definitives because that's not my place to, but that is
Okay.
my understanding. Um,
Okay.
I may be wrong. I'm not going to
Thank
tell everybody, yeah, we're going in, and get to the gate and be like, "Hey, guys, we're just going to chill here." So I don't want to, give everybody hope and then be like, yeah, we're going to pay for this, and then get there and then me just look like this guy that said everything. And it's like, well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Look, either way, they're going to get something when they go, whether they're not, actually on site or they're on the outside, just outside of the site. From stories I've heard, people get evidence whether they're on the site or not on the site, because there's ranches around the area that have experiences. They just don't talk about them like
Right.
Skinwalker does.
There's also tribal land right there,
Yeah.
and that's closed off pretty much.
Yeah, we'll probably stay away from that one though. That's that's sacred ground. That's where the stories of the skinwalkers come from. So probably step off of that one.
It's crazy when they say they see people running across, that cliff, that mountain edge, and they're going so fast it's unexplainable that it could be a person running that quickly. Like your
Right.
thoughts on something like that when it comes to, the Skinwalker legend. I'm going to say legend, but the Skinwalker legend.
First of all, I want to tell everybody, if you see me running, you should probably run too.
For all of us.
Like, honestly, I don't know. I've never experienced that. Like, I've seen shadow figures that are like 7 feet tall and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me, but like, I don't know, something about a skinwalker, changing form and shape and like just, I don't know, mimicking people and just mimicking animals and then changing form. Yeah, I'm gonna run. I'm just gonna run. I don't really know what to think of them other than that. Like terrifying. Like I don't know. If I see one tonight, I'm gonna apologize. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of them. Like I struggle to believe that it's like a demonic source, but I just I'm as baffled as anyone else, really. Like it's just crazy to me to even think
Just the
about.
thought. Yeah.
Too strange
so-
for normal investigators.
Which is crazy because we do some pretty interesting stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Okay, so you see a skinwalker, you're running. How about
Oh, yeah.
Bigfoot?
I don't know. I feel like if I take a photo, nobody's gonna believe it because everyone has photos. But like, I don't think I'm running unless like, because clearly I'm not going to escape him. Like it's, you know, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm 5'4". I have short legs. I'm all torso. I'm not escaping something that's 8 foot tall. I'm just not.
You're
My
not as
best-
short as you make yourself out to be.
I am. I'm sorry. 5'4" is probably an overestimate. But yeah, I don't know in that predicament. Like I'm not gonna outrun a primate that's 8 foot, 9 foot tall. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm a Bigfoot baby and hope that he carries me home and takes care of me.
That might be good. Then you can go live on Facebook and get some real evidence.
But no, I'm intrigued by it. I'm definitely intrigued by it. I really like. Have you guys seen Bigfoot's toenail? By the way,
No.
so I forget exactly what it's called, but there is a show with the Ghost Brothers and Jack Osborne on it, and they did an episode on Bigfoot, and they brought in what is supposedly Bigfoot's toenail. Grossest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's there if you want to see it.
I will be looking that up when we're done.
I think I know
Well,
what you're
regular
talking
toenails are kind of gross. I mean, come on, like, can't imagine Bigfoot's toenail.
It was one of the COVID shows, so I had to have a draw.
The toenail was a drop. That's like they were getting desperate.
Yeah.
You know, for as much as I watched that show, I've probably seen every single episode, and for me not to remember the name is crazy because I love Jack and I love the Ghost Brothers.
Love Jack Osborne.
I have yet to meet Jack because like every time he's around, I'm like doing something else in the same location. I'm like, no, but like I've met the Ghost Brothers and they're all incredible. And
They're funny.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Okay, so you're going to West Virginia. What about Mothman?
So
Sure.
we are going to do the Mothman and the TNT night deal. I don't know too much more about it other than that because we haven't delved into it
So
yet.
if it starts flying, if he starts flying over you, or it starts flying over you, what are you gonna do?
If it is not a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater, I mean, it kind of is, but I don't know, just that probably this. Like I don't know. I don't know. Everybody run, but I'm gonna stay right here. You know.
Let them run so it could go after them, and then you can get
Yeah,
some.
I don't want to be that way, but I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't know. I'm just
So what do you think about the Mothman story? Do you think that it's legitimate? Do you think that it's got some validity to it? I mean, lots of witnesses.
I believe that there are possibilities, but there's also chance of mass hysteria as well, to where one person sees something, they say something about it, another person goes, "Oh, you know, I might have seen something like that." The next person's like, "Oh, we definitely saw that." Like, I don't really know on that, um, but it's going to be my job to figure that out and get to everyone and let them understand how I feel after doing all the reading, things like that. But I do believe that it could be a thing, but I also believe it could be, you know, mass hysteria as well. So you never know.
I'm a big believer in that, like the independent, like IDs, where if you have, several people that give an ID and a sketch or something of something, and they come together, and you bring those IDs together and they overlap, like that's for me more
Yeah.
legitimate than somebody saying they see something and then the rest of the town going, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a
Yeah.
little bit, it's a lot harder because we've seen it through history. It happens a lot. I mean, look at just gossip in itself, right? It was somebody tells a story, and then that story is throughout a town, lots of different perspectives, lots of everybody believes they saw something, everybody believes they know something or they heard it from the source. It's crazy.
Right. Which is interesting because like we're saying this and like you and I kind of do that when we're together. Like, oh, Josh, did you see this? No, not really, but would you?
Yeah.
So
Well, but
I
like,
mean,
go ahead.
it's way different. Let's just tell everybody it's way different. Please don't like that. But it's just interesting that you said that. I was like, wait a second, we kind of did that.
Yeah, that's true. But there are times where somebody will say something and then the other person will go, oh my gosh. And you
Yeah,
both had the same exact experience, but you had it at independent times. So
right.
those I think are more valid, yes, than that, unless everybody sees it at the same time, than other
Ohio
group
Bigfoot
Hmm?
just happened, and that's an example of all that.
Yep. The so you talked about Lake Shawnee being your scariest place. Now, Lake Shawnee, I've been there, I like 3 times now, I think. But the like there's the history of the elemental.
Yes.
We've seen things there. There's Native American guardians and things like that we see there that are present, Native American spirits. And like, what are your thoughts like on one, like those types of things, like an elemental or some place like a spirit that guards a location? Do you feel like some people walk in and say, I don't care, what's here? Do I respect the land? Do I not respect the land? What are your thoughts? I mean, I know it, but what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that is there's more to the spirit world than anyone can possibly understand, even the psychics, and it's a lot of people thinking, hey, you know everything when you have abilities. It's not the case. I'm sorry, guys. We're not all open books. We can't tell you everything. We know a lot, but we're not going to be like, oh, no, this doesn't exist, because in all actuality, it could be the strongest force that we've been dealing with for years, and we're
Yep.
just about to realize it. So I do think that elementals, I do believe that spirits that guard properties are, in fact, a thing. And I've had numerous experiences with them, not elementals in particular, but guardian spirits of certain areas. So, yes, I do believe that that is, in fact, a thing. As far as elementals go, I believe that it is a huge possibility, but I have never actually um, been in that experience. With the Shawnee Native Americans, though, I've seen all of them at once, and that was a terrifying experience. But they were, in fact, guarding, which is, what they're there to do, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't like they were trying to be scary. It was a very respectful, experience.
Oh, most definitely. It was more of a, hey, don't worry, we're here to protect versus anything. But they were definitely guarding. And I don't know if you guys have ever just randomly looked up and just seen a horde of people. It's a little bit alarming, to say the least. But it wasn't bad. It was just me going, oh, okay.
You handled
So
it well. There was no
uh,
running involved.
I, I don't think I could run. I think I was frozen, scared.
And frozen. It was kind of
Yeah.
cold.
Well, thankfully, the time that I saw that, it was not 17 degrees. It was very manageable. That last time we were out there with the sleet and stuff, that was rough, but it was still fun.
Okay,
So
so what do you think? Oh, go.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask
Uh-oh.
you. What's your elemental stance? I'm curious.
I think that they exist. I mean, there are things that go long that existed long before we came around. And
Okay.
so, I mean, we're like what 4.6 billion years old. Like there's no way that there's not something that here that existed that we can't even comprehend. So that could have lasted through these billions of years. It's just like to think that this thing can't possibly exist is just so human of us. We sit on a floating ball through space, like of nothingness, with a bunch of other things floating around, and to think that something like that could not exist, like I can't say no to that.
Okay.
And we've experienced it. Like I've experienced it. I know the feeling of you can't walk past here, and the feeling of okay, I trust you, walk past, you're not going to harm anything. Like I know those feelings, whether other people that have gone to Lake Shawnee have experienced them and left running. So, it is something to respect. And the Native American land is always something to respect. I will never say otherwise when it comes to that.
Oh, I completely agree. I haven't ran, but I felt the energy and said, nope. and that's about it.
Just pretend it's not there. Keep going. Oh, I think there's there are EMFs over this way. I'll just go that way. All right. So, what scared you the most about Lake Shawnee that you think it's the most haunted location? The group of Native Americans, or was it something more? Or I shouldn't say scared you, affected you the most.
The hanging on the property,
The what?
the lynching on the property. I saw the death of that person, and that really affected me. For a while, it still affects me. Like visiting that trail, there are certain places where I just won't go. I don't know if you guys noticed, like when you went down the trail last time, I didn't go. Um, it's there are certain things that like on that property you won't experience anywhere else, and I believe like that for me was one of the things. Like I have never had that happen, and for me to see it in like detail was just wow. And I mean, I've held the little girl's hand that you know hit the delivery truck. I've seen hordes of spirits just walking in to protect the place. I've had the child who drowned in the lake come up to me and try to show me where he, died. Like it's to me that place is just overwhelming with energy. And it's one of those where sure Savannah's haunted. It's one of the most haunted places I've ever been, but this is like that in a bubble plus tenfold. Like it's just that's what Shawnee is. And it's interesting to me that like the way that I actually got there was Jacqueline put a post up on
Yeah.
TikTok like anybody want to come lock down in an amusement park, and I was like, yeah. And then my most haunted experience happened. So, yeah.
Well, like there is something to be said about that location when the sun goes down. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
beautiful. Like the sunrises are incredible there, but like when that sun sets, the energy shifts, and you definitely get a different experience when you're there for sure. And it does have a lot of energy. It's just the location. There's a lot of history in that, and just in that one small spot in West Virginia, that it's crazy. So somebody had a question. Nicole has a question. Says, have any of you encountered black-eyed children, and do you think they're related to the paranormal?
That's a nope. um no,
Children
can't say
just scare me, but
It's the government and the men in black.
I can't say that I've ever experienced that, but if I ever did, you can assume that I will be striding this way real fast.
So Nicole says that she actually had that experience. Nicole, you're welcome to share. We can talk about it a little bit. I've never experienced like the black-eyed children, but I've experienced children that are not children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those are the for me almost like in certain instances, I can't say in every instance, but in certain instances are the most dangerous for me.
Yes. Yeah, the mimics.
The man in the top hat also relates to all this.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. What do they call it? The top hat, or is that Hat Man? Is that the same as Hat Man, or is that different?
Probably the same thing, but are they demonic?
I can say I don't know. I can't say. I don't know. I've never had that experience of the Hat Man in that sense being demonic. No. What Nicole just hold on, let me post this up here. Okay, Nicole says, I was doing an episode about them, and suddenly I heard some knocking on my door, and of course, being curious, stupid me, I opened it. Well, it's what we do.
I don't even
And
know
then
what
she
to
goes,
do.
and guess what? There was no one there. Well, it's also what we do. I don't know. Would you rather? Oh, okay. That's actually brings me to a question. She heard the knocking. Okay, she goes and opens the door. Would you rather there be something there, or not something there?
I wouldn't open the door not in my personal home.
See, I'm kind of with you on that, JD, because like I far from what I do, I'm incredibly socially anxious. So if anybody knocks on my door and I'm not expecting anyone, I'm like, so like I don't know, like I would never know, like unless I'm looking at the door and there's like a giant shadow there. I
Yeah,
just
boundaries. You're not allowed in my place.
Okay, so if it was front door, I think I'd respond the same way as you, Josh. I would definitely not, like, I would look through the window, see who's there, or look at the Ring camera and see who's at the house first. But if it was in the house, I'm just that person. I'll open the door. I may grab something just in case, but I'll open the door.
No.
no, just hide in the corner. I think it'll go away. Are they still knocking out there? Should I answer?
Just
No,
drown it out
no,
in
it's a
music
trap.
or something.
Nicole's like, living by yourself can be scary in itself. It's true. It's true.
I don't know.
So, go.
I feel like everything that wants to get to me is already in my house. So, like,
Shit.
So that brings me to one of my questions. Have you ever felt like something followed you home?
yes. Oh my God, yes.
Especially working in or living in one of the most haunted cities in America.
So, there was an experience that I had that, like, I was sad about, but, like, I hated it at the same time. I had a lady attached to me for 2 weeks. And, like, there was no discernible, what she wanted, anything like that. But it was literally just screaming in my head for 2 weeks. And I don't know. The only thing I ever understood was, like, help, which is what made me sad because, like, I wanted to understand. But at the same time, like, I didn't know what was going on because it was literally just banshee screaming. And that one, that one took me a while to kind of get over. But it was 2 weeks of that, and it was just me walking through the city, and all of a sudden I feel something on my shoulder, and 2 weeks, just same stuff. So yes, I have had that experience.
Do you feel like you would have not had that experience if you had done something like more protection or done, something to set a boundary? Because a lot of people bring up, like we talk about that with other guests. Do you feel like it was just you couldn't control? It was just not something you could control, or do you think you missed something and didn't set a good boundary or didn't protect yourself enough?
I think it was just something that I don't protect myself. I don't sage. I don't do none of that. I don't put holy water anywhere. I don't do anything. Like I don't do the moon stuff. Like I have crystals, sure, occasionally, but I don't I don't protect myself because I feel like it stifles me. Okay, I feel like it's just I don't know. Then I get it. People get on to me about that all the time. So there probably could have been something that I could have done about it, but do I do that? No. So I don't know. I think it was more of me just like I felt bad because I couldn't help the person, but I don't know that I could have stopped it either because I, in fact, do not do those things because I do feel like it stifles me. And I've had psychics yell at me all the time and tell me I'm a bad boy, but that's kind of way my life works.
You get a Stanley in the mail full of holy water. So do you like it if they follow you? Do you think that's something you want, or is it's just you just don't do it and it just happens?
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, but I also like I'm here to help. Like I feel like that's my purpose, right? If I can hear them, if I can understand them, then I want to be able to help. And what if I block out that one person that really needs it? You know what I mean? So to me, it's just a thing, and I'm afraid that if I do that too much, then I might stifle my abilities and my understanding of things. So I just don't do it.
Okay. Like every medium is different, so it's interesting to get like the different perspectives of how everybody approaches it. So, like for you, that makes sense. That's something that works for you. For other mediums, maybe not. So, I wouldn't yell at you. I mean, I would want you to protect yourself in some way, so you're not having somebody screaming at you for 2 weeks. But hey, that's your method. I can't, it's just like, if you want to play hockey, it's
Yeah.
like, go play hockey. That's your thing. I'm not going to stop you from playing hockey. You only know what's going on in you and in your abilities.
I will say
So,
that I do one thing, and that is the no, not right now method. And that's like if I just want to be left alone, I'm like, no, not right now. Maybe later. We'll talk later.
there's an EMF signal over here. All right. So, okay, we've got a few more minutes. So, what do you think, JD? JD, do you have a
What is
thought?
that?
Oh, it's probably my cup.
It's gotta be.
It's not an EVP, I promise. So, what do you think for you is maybe the most common misconception people have about the paranormal, especially when they come on your tours? Like, what's one of their most common misconceptions, and what should they expect when they go on a tour?
To be real with you, it's kind of something we've already gone over. It's the follow me home and demonic entities. Those are the two things that are the most common misconceptions. I think it's because of like scare tactics and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But everybody's like, "Is there something going to follow me home?" I'm like, I mean, I don't know, but probably not. Like, I can't say that it won't, but it's not like everybody's carrying home a ghost. It's just not happening. Usually, they look for the beacons like you or I. So that's the way that goes. And demonic entities, guys, like they're they may not be like rare around, but they're rare to encounter. So I don't feel like that's something that anyone has to worry about. Uh, Everybody's scared of it, but I don't feel like that's anything anyone really has to worry about unless you are, in fact, going to need some help with them or go into a place that you probably shouldn't have gone into. Like, if I hear that word when someone mentions investigation, you know what I don't do? I don't go there. So that's the way you protect yourself from that. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so when somebody comes on a tour for you, what can they expect? Or tour with you, I should say.
If you're doing it for the paranormal side, I'm going to be very scientific about things. I'm going to try to make sure that everyone understands exactly what's going on and uh, how things work, like your electronic devices, everything like that. Um, if you want me to say things that I'm feeling, I will. But majority of my tours, I will nerd out on you. I will give you the most deep dive history lesson you ever could care for. And I love every bit of it, and I love feeding knowledge to people. especially the ones that are intriguing, like dark history. So while we'll have fun with the ghosties and all this stuff and do all our paranormal investigation, I also want you guys to know like what's causing it, why it's there, what history was there that could have made things happen in such a way, what you're standing on. That's something I went on a rant on a little bit ago. People probably get a little peeved with me, but uh, you got to know where you are too, like the ground itself, what's underneath it, like why. That's I think that for me is like the biggest thing is just I want people to understand that history has a huge impact on things that happen, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that saying exists. If if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. So history plays a big role in everything that we do, especially in the paranormal. If you don't understand the history, how are you supposed to understand what's coming at you, the stories that you hear? Okay, so again, Mysterious Adventure Tours, and then
Mysterious Adventures Tours.
Oh, okay.
You're
Mysterious Adventure Tours, and they can come to your Facebook page, and you'll be posting the upcoming tours. Skinwalker Ranch is expected to be the next one that's coming.
Yes.
So so if they can come find you on Facebook and Instagram, and you said you have a TikTok, but don't message on TikTok. Just message on TikTok.
Just know that my TikTok is stuff that I post on Facebook, so just go to my Facebook. And if you guys are intrigued in anything else, it's on my profile. It's in my link tree. I have other podcasts that I've done as well. They're on there too. If you guys want to know more about like me and like my spirit guides and stuff like that, that's on there too. But yeah, most definitely, guys. Like if you want to come see me and have a great time and go have some good food and go just hang out in very interesting places and hear history and just shoot the stuff, let's go for it.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right,
Sounds
stick
like
around.
a fun time.
It's definitely.
Yeah, stick around for a moment after we wrap up, Josh.
Of course.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining us for this episode of the podcast. We'll have a pre-recorded episode next week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at New Era Paranormal for all of the podcasts and Remnants Project updates. Okay, have a good night.
Thanks, guys.